War is coming to the Empire of Francia. An internal war down in the south between the borders of the Kingdom of Aragon and the Kingdom of Aquitaine as King Henri II prepares to launch his campaign to claim all of the Duchy of Languedoc for the Kingdom of Aragon and to finally and properly-ish unify his lands all the way from the English Channel to the Mediterranean. Hey everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you once again for watching, liking, subscribing. I know, these series that go on for a while are, not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm really enjoying it, and a few thousand of you are enjoying it as well, it seems. If you have any chance to, you can go check out some of the other stuff here on the channel as well. There's more stuff coming in future, both around Crusader Kings 3. I do have a few new regional historical start guides in the works right now, and those will be coming in the coming months. I'm also looking at a new Let's Play series for a different strategy game. I kind of talked about this before. I'd like to give Imperator Rome, while I stumble over my words. I apologize for my voice. I'm still nursing the tail end of the flu, actually. So that's a joy. So anyway, thank you again, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel beyond watching and liking and subscribing, there are links down below to my Nexus GG store, where purchases, a percentage thereof, go back to the channel, as well as Patreon. So you can always check that out. Now, with that out of the way, we will commence with this war down here in the south for none other than Duke Thierry of House Marly and the Duchy of Languedoc, where we got the claim for the entire duchy in the last episode. And as you can see, it will be a very nice bridge here to bring our lands together. And that's definitely the focus right now. Brittany will eventually be next on the list to kind of get this back, and then eat up the rest of Aquitaine's holdings here to really solidify us. Now, one thing that was brought up, obviously in the last episode, we got a claim for Burgundy, which we didn't really need because of the marriage of our son. But at the end of the day, we have the claim, then our son has the claim, because right now the claim is through our son's wife. And there are no guarantees in Crusader Kings 3 that they would have children yet. Maybe they do. Let me check. She does not have children yet. So, we're all good there. Our son, his wife, of course, Duchess Esclarmonde of Burgundy, our Prince Angevin of Aragon, the heir, who, if you look at him here, I mean, stewardship. He will be a steward king, which would be kind of interesting. He's humble, diligent, yet cynical. So then it would be an industrious king. But for now, we are focused on 40-year-old King Henri II, the Good of Aragon, and everything he's got going on. Right now, still that truce with Brittany, which lasts for 4 more years. So this war will definitely be the core focus. So now, first things first, we are going to look at moving our rally point, something that I always like to do. We're going to move that right down here to the south. We can bring it in and go down here. Let's see. Let's actually take a look at Languedoc real quick. The realm capital of the duchy is Albi. So I think what we're going to do then is we're going to move our rally point to... we can move it up here or here, but here we'd have to, looks like, cross a river. So I don't want to cross a river because of the negative bonuses that will entail. And we'll cut in here. Now, we will take a look at Aquitaine. He is allied with Languedoc. So those are the only allies he has. And as such, I am not overly concerned by that. We will call in a lot of allies. You know, we've got plenty of renown. We've got a lot of prestige. So we've now got 400 back in the bank, so we can actually afford to do this. So right now it's saying King Walter of Aquitaine has a stronger army. That's probably on the head-to-head. Even though I don't see that either. We've got 9,600 directly. He has 7,800 directly. So I'm not worried about that, especially once our allies come in. So the Duchy of Languedoc, and just look at all that juicy land that'll add. So we will declare the war and raise our armies and call in all of our allies. So now as we and our allies gather, we will then make here for them, for Albi. We see Snorri of Norway is coming, as well as all of our other local allies. Loyalty or fear. As their king, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law, but how much is obedience without devotion worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I afford such a risk? I will win their unwavering loyalty. So we gain generous liege for 10 years. So vassal taxes will go down, but their opinion goes up. Fear is a far more effective tool. That's not really a thing. I have more important men to impress, like the emperor himself. So yes, we will focus on that. All right, now, we'll lead these armies together. And go straight here for Albi. A dynasty head has been changed. That's an interesting development. Finer points of diplomacy. Today, my son André was taught a lesson in vassal management by Gaston. It was quite a complicated course, necessary, but perhaps a bit beyond André's grasp. Everyone makes mistakes, André claims. When I rule, I will forgive and let live, so that my realm may prosper. Perhaps he would be too forgiving? No, only forgiving may be the way to move forward, because I am forgiving, Henri is forgiving, so he absolutely would strengthen that within his own son. So we can see 7,500 Aquitanians there coming together. We've got another 1,000 gathering in their host. So now we're back to head of dynasty. Let's see, we're just keeping an eye on that Aquitanian army. If they're moving south, that's great. You know, moving away from our lands as our allies gather. You can see the Norwegians are coming in. We've got the Burgundians coming in. Here come the Piedemontese. They're coming in. That's fine. See how the Norwegians react. They're going to move to the north. We're going to win this siege first. And then move north. We're waiting for our allies. Here's some more Norwegians. Those are Norwegians? I believe so. So we have won that siege. And now let's move north. Consolidate our forces. Will anybody come with us? If we move against them, we'll move here. Okay, so they're breaking off their siege. And now we've engaged them here. Their allies are coming in. And here come more of our allies. I mean, we're just going to swarm them. Tienmal de Breton. And a victory against the Aquitanian forces. Excellent. So now what we can do is start actually besieging Aquitaine proper. Or we can leave that up to our allies as we continue on taking... Do I want to take on more of their lands? No. We're going to move in here. I don't want to destroy holdings. That's not a goal I have. Actually, we're going to head down here and try to cut off that very weak Aquitanian army. If we can get them in the field, that would be perfect. To the benevolent Henri and the rightful lord of the county of La Manche. Of course we are. We're going to take them on in the field as more of our allies come as well. And this time the leader is King of Aquitaine himself, who we easily take care of. And we're going to start sieging down here. A claim on Alençon. For months, Uzur Count Blave's suffragette bishop has been digging up spurless contracts and fabricated histories. Now Count Bleve dares act as if it all amounts to a legitimate claim on the county of Alençon. Lies and more lies. Alright, we will now move through here and besiege more of Aquitaine proper and slowly move towards their capital here. That's the main goal. Nothing else is really in any danger. Constance has come of age. Natural administrator from birth, it should surprise no one that Constance has come far in her studies of the management of the realm, displaying a thorough understanding of the flow of gold and the wanderings of people. They grow up so fast. She can now marry Nuno of Castile. And that is done. And we continue our conquest of Aquitanian lands. And I kind of wish our allies would be a little bit more organized here. But so be it. Queen Estefania is pregnant once again. Synergized friendship. Henri, I know I can count on you in all things, and I wonder, would you commit to always aid each other in matters of experience and training? Gains enhanced stewardship. We will accept that. Being closer with the Castilians is only of benefit to us. We see another Aquitanian army there to the north. Where are they heading? Might be worth actually just chasing them down. They're gonna go into our lands. No, they're crossing. They're skirting our army, is what they're doing, and they're gonna head down south. Greetings, cousin. I have studied the Doi Vulgar language for many moons. I personally penned this missive using the Doi Vulgar script, a letter of friendship from a speaker of High German. I wish our future diplomatic dealings to benefit us both greatly. He has learned Doi Vulgar. Impressive. Send my regards. You can see that army is besieging our lands there. Something I'm not too concerned with. I win another major siege there. And now, actually, let's head around here. Let's chase this army down and potentially destroy them. That army is led by the king himself. So I'm not... that could be a big one. That's how you end a war swiftly, if you would capture the king in combat. The Khan is dead, thank God. Although a new ruler has been proclaimed, Kagan Argun Aga, he can surely not be as horrifying as Yochi. Perhaps this is even the end of the Mongol aggression. Genghis who? Alright, so they have broken off their siege. Will we catch them? Yes, we will. And of course the king is in the host. Really? War stories now? Okay, one of King Edward of Italy's favorite things to do with me is to sit by the fire and exchange war stories on a beautiful Aragonese night. This night we have been reminiscing from sun until moon until sun again. I begin by telling of the time when I pressed my claim to the Duchy of Toulouse, held by King Reynard, prompting Edward to clasp his hands and laugh. A fine tale. Though truly, I tell you, friend, there's no event more glorious in all of history than when I commanded and won the battle of Haraldral against King Sten of Sweden. Ha! Glorious days we've had, and I pray many more glories to come. Nobody spins a yarn like Edward. Given how trusting I am, that would work. But now, can we capture the king? And we have a daughter, Arsind. Sure. That is a perfectly acceptable name. And we have not captured the king. Okay, but we will now move across the border here with our army and continue sieging their lands. We've got a new diplomacy lifestyle perk, and we're going to go down diplomat, of course, and gain thoughtful, or at least work on that. Greetings, my serene liege. I have arrived in Angers to pay homage to you. Countess Guillemette of Men. Show her in at once. She kneels in deference, and I accept her generous gifts of 55 gold, and we gain prestige and grandeur. That's one thing we will have to do is, once this war is done, look inward at our own royal court and consolidate a little bit. We've done a lot of expansion here recently, and we're going to have a lot of peace. So that's a lot of truces. So I'm not really going to be pressing much more beyond that. So an alliance is formed with King Lorenzo Nunez of Castile. Excellent. So an alliance with the Castilians is of great benefit to us. More sieges have been won here in the depths of winter. Across the Central Massif here, and then, of course, on the Aquitanian coast. André has come of age. André was always so focused on what he wanted, so perhaps it should come as not a great surprise that he has had a hard time learning how to influence others. And he can now marry, so that proposal shall be done. There's a smaller army down there. A gem in the rough. During one of our lessons in my son Valérand's chambers, there was a collection of rocks neatly displayed on a shelf. One of the stones stand out in the collection. It is quite rough, but upon closer inspection, there is a deeply red, brilliant hue contained within. He notices my interest, picks it up, and hands it over. You can have it, father. Oh, thank you. So, we have won the war here, that final siege doing it, and we will enforce the demands and disband all. And now Aragon has a slightly more unified look to it. You can see Galicia is currently at war, defending against Portugal in a liberty war internally. But we currently are not worried about Galicia because, of course, we've got a nice ally in none other than the Kingdom of Castile. So the decision I'm going to take a look at is, you know, these consolidation wars internally are great and all, but I kind of want to look beyond France and here in Iberia and maybe push this Reconquista a little bit together with Castile. Would be, of course, of great interest. Internally in France, Aquitaine will be the one that we want to crush and destroy over time. We want to push Brittany out of our lands. So once Brittany is gone here, I'm not concerned with Brittany. This isn't necessarily a part that is of great interest, but Aquitaine is because historically, of course, that was a part of the Plantagenet and Angevin lands. And then there's still the question of England and what we do there. We can see here now Scotland has grown to take up all of Southern Ireland, and Northern Ireland is part of England. So the British Isles looking very interesting. We pay a ransom here. We gain 100. We can always use the money without a doubt. So we can host a grand tournament. We're not going to do that. So we're going to look here internally what we've got going on. We've got way too many duchies held. The Duchy of Languedoc, I don't mind giving this one away. Anjou, my king, you are currently in possession of some place that should be mine. My vigorous brother, Prince Geoffroy, has come before me, insisting that I grant him the Duchy of Anjou. Prince Geoffroy the Timid, my brother of Aragon. Anjou belongs to me. You can do one for all I care. So here, Languedoc, we can grant this title to. We can give this to our son, Prince André of Aragon. He remains our vassal, and he becomes a duke in the south. I don't mind that at all. The other one would be Toulouse. So granting Toulouse to someone else as well. Our own son, Valera, he will make him the Duke of Toulouse. So now we've gotten rid of that. An empty throne. My courtier Penel has insisted on seeing me, even though I've made it known that I would rather be alone. My benevolent king, it has now been a long while since you last showed yourself at court. We all try to do our best to maintain appearances in your absence, but an Aragonese court cannot function without the king in attendance. Yes, absolutely. It is time for me to pay the royal court a visit without a doubt. We have a few things going on here. A flock of robed men burst into my throne room, hectically searching the floor and uprooting everything from chairs to skirts in frantic search. King Henri, cries one. We are the followers of Mathieu the Headless, great holy man who has been decapitated as part of a prophecy God gave him at birth. As often happens with holy figures, his head started rolling away. We've been chasing it through the land and are certain it rolled up the hillock into your castle. You have my leave to search the castle. He is trusting. And then a flesh wound. A pool of blood is congealing under the feet of Ponce, a diplomat sent by my ally, King Lorenzo of Castile. By the immense quantities soaked up by my fine carpet, I can only assume he has been bleeding on this spot for hours, if not longer. My apologies for this mess. I was defenestrated by a dwarf trying to rob me in an inn on my journey to Angers. However, as the rapscallion cushioned my fall, the diplomatic visit can continue. It will still be days until my blood loss is fatal. Guards, force this man to see a physician. Yes. So, please go see a physician. And now we shall actually hold court. Let's hear the petitioners. After that successful victory over the Kingdom of Aquitaine, let's gesture in the line of petitioners. Mayor Mafalda approaches me with a straighter posture than usual and visibly eager about what she has to say. My liege, there's much to celebrate under your rule. Please allow me to pay for the expenses of your next feast. Perhaps in return you would grant me a favor in the future. Perhaps we can arrange something more agreeable. 77% that she agrees to renege on their request for a favor. Very well, I will accept. She can say very weak hook on us. What is he? I mean, he's forgiving, he's lazy, and he's trusting. He's a bargainer. He likes bargaining, so we're going to go with this to try to bargain it. She reneges on her request for a favor. The whole throne room falls silent as my steward Count Richard enters triumphantly, followed by two struggling servants who are dragging a chained wolf. Smiling proudly, Richard claims, My lord, I present you a gift worthy of the mightiest ruler in the world. This magnificent beast was hunted in the forest of Rouen, and now I offer it to you as a symbol of my devotion and your unparalleled power. Thank you. I really needed a new carpet. Indeed, a mighty beast for a mighty ruler. So I get a pet monster for 10 years, which would be interesting, and court grandeur, up at 25. So we will do that. In ancient times, an ancient figure approaches my throne with a click and a tap of his cane accompanying each step. My lord, I am a genealogist, and you are aware you are of noble origin. However, noble is not quite the same as divine or mythical. I desire to write a scroll which shall trace your complete lineage back to the dawn of history. For a mere few gold, I can reveal the truth to you and the world. You are a true descendant of the kings of the Visigoths. Excellent. Ensure the list is excessively long. And thus, the business here is done. Excellent. So, let's take a look at Court Grandeur, where things sit right now. Servants, we can bump this up. It does bump up the court amenities cost, but we have the money. So, that's only beneficial. I mean, guest recruitment cost minus 40%. Personal scheme power plus 12. Hostile scheme resistance plus 12. Court grandeur bonus plus 12. Courtiers and guests get a personal scheme power plus 6 and a hostile scheme resistance of plus 6. So we will apply that. So that can go up. And middling lodgings or go up to spacious lodgings. This too will bump up our cost, but we do have it. Guests are more likely to stay longer. Acceptance to join your schemes in your court as an agent, plus 15. Court grandeur goes up. Completed inspiration quality has a decent chance of improvement. Stress gain, minus 15%. So we will do that as well. So we can afford it. We have the money. And as our grandeur keeps going up, court grandeur level 10 right now. So we're moving up really, really nicely here. In ancient times, after a few days, the genealogist Guillaume returns. He unfurls a scroll long enough to encircle. You can see here our court grandeur is now at 10, which is just amazing. Enough to encircle one of my provinces. My archbishop trips over it slightly as the unfurled end rolls to my throne's foot. I have here the truth of your origin, my lord. He clears his throat and begins to read. Today we unveil a great history. Standing before us is King Henri, son of Viscount Nordheim-Innsbruck, sired by the fearful Duke Engelbeck of Tyrol, fruit of the loins of Duke Georg of Tyrol, son of the remarkable Johannes Dukas, child of Georgus Dukas. A few eyelids around the court begin to drop. It is time for a nap. I shall dream of my own glory. Not really. I wouldn't say that would work. This thrills more than any ballad. I am on the edge of my throne. Because we are a patriarch. This makes the most sense. King of Aragon owes you for your service. No. I absolutely want to hear this. So now let's take a look here. Duchy of Toulouse. I guess we didn't grant that. So we still formally need to do that. Here. Grant the title to Valeran. Perfect. So we've got that taken care of. We can ask our head of faith for gold. And we will do that. See if he actually gives it to us this time. Because the last time we did that, it didn't show up. We need a new spy master. And who would be good here? To the benign Henri. Thank you. So now we have the cash. We do have a powerful vassal who wants that. He is a thinker, reclusive, impatient, fickle, and shy. Not really. That doesn't really work. But we do have a flamboyant trickster here, Count Bleve. We will assign him as our spy master. Here, county control, increase. Areas that we need to increase, we will go with Barry next. We are promoting culture here. We can promote it further down south, but instead we are going to go here. We'll just go slowly and surely around us. Promote the culture there. And what else can we do? I'm not really too worried about this. We can convince de jure territory. Yeah, I'm not really interested in doing that. Okay, we do have a few ransoms here. that we will take care of and get more cash in. What that cash will allow us to do is possibly hold a tournament, which would be something that we have not done so far in this series. But I also want to look beyond that. We can also invest more in development, which would always be great. Let's see here where we can, in fact, declare wars and for what. So we can go to war with Galicia for Duke Leon's claims, who would gain the contested titles. We gain a weak hook. I mean, I'm not really interested in that. Amiens. County of Amiens. None of these are really too interesting. England. Count Hugh's claims for the Duchy of Lancaster. We will eventually want to go after England, but maybe not with Henri. And again, this may be an Angevin playthrough where that doesn't happen. Instead, what we may look at doing, let's take a look at Emperor of France. He's allied with Norway and, of course, internally with Italy. Then he's very, very, very strong. But what if we were to declare an independence war? This would be, I mean, the military strength is similar to ours. Declaring for that, I mean, Burgundy would not join. Piedmont would not join. Snorri, Prince Snorri, possibly. King of Castile, yes. And our Welsh nephew, possibly. But it's really the Castilians that would lend us the power. We've got cash, and we can declare our freedom. But I don't know if the timing is right just yet to do that. We have the Castilians on our side, and the timing might be perfect for that. The Galicians here, we can't negotiate an alliance because we have our current amount of alliances just way, way too high. Way too high for that. So that's not going to work. Can we arrange a marriage that makes sense? Our daughter with Infante Diego of Galicia. So that would move her. She's newborn. He's 11. And it would gain us a Galician ally. So we know there's the potential of doing that. Don't necessarily know if I want to do that. Now, allying with England. King Albert, the King of Dice of England. Interesting, of a Welsh house here. That could be interesting. None of his children would really be there. They're all betrothed. There's nothing we can do there. What about Scotland? King of Scotland. They would add a decent amount, but his children are all rather old. So I'm not worried about that, or that's not really an option. And the Welsh, well, Madog III is not really strong enough. Norway is allied with Francia, so that really wouldn't bring us much further. The Danes, their allies are Ruthenia and Julant. There's a 5-year-old daughter. Bringing in the Danes would be one thing. The Holy Roman Emperor has no children. So, yeah, we'll keep that in our back pocket with Galicia. I mean, a betrothal in that sense for our newborn daughter with his 11-year-old son. It's an alliance of convenience. It would boost up our power even further, but I just don't know if the timing is just quite right yet. How are we looking here? His heir is Prince Julien of Francia. And Emperor Julien at 57 is ailing, and his health is poor. So maybe waiting that out, and then instead having his son take over. That could be an interesting time to jump in here, because then they would lose the alliance with the Norwegians, most likely, potentially. And then we can get an alliance with the Galicians, maybe even the English, and then go to war with Francia, gain our independence. But first, I'd like to add more lands here. I'd like to kick Aquitaine out of here and Brittany out of here first. So I think that all kind of covers where I'm thinking about this. Navarra. Yes, we can capture the Kingdom of Navarra. You know, I mean that's kind of a not much there. And that really doesn't do much for us, so it's not really something I am currently interested in. Now we can get a wet nurse. So let's start a search here for a wet nurse. Why not? So, search for a wet nurse. I prefer the experienced Marguerite. So, Marguerite, wandering, she's an elusive shadow, cynical, and just. Or Deuce. Okay. Marguerite, you wet nurse for 205. And Deuce, aptitude is poor. Marguerite's aptitude is good. And tournaments aren't really something I'm overly interested in, to be perfectly honest. It's not really something that tickles my fancy. Let's go here to Zaragoza and see what we can do here to improve. We need to do a few upgrades. We could bump this up in theory, but no. We'll do here instead barracks, bellows, hound pens, resin collectors, traps and ditches, rampart walls. That would be good. So we can upgrade that. Holding taxes go up. So we will upgrade there. And we've got some more prisoner exchange release. Let's actually take a look here. Do we have anybody else in prison? We do not. So we've got our prisons cleared. And we've got a terrible court physician. And Penel. Even though she is a novice physician. And she is infirm. Yeah, I think it's time to look for a new physician here. Anybody, so she's average and poor. Eustache. We can make him one. Cost us 200 prestige, that's fine. We'll replace him for right now. And in the meantime, what we'll do is we will actually search for a proper physician. Just in case. If anybody pops up that's really amazing, may make that change. Otherwise, I'm not overly concerned with that. We currently have one faction, a Liberty faction, looking for lower crown authority in Count Bleve of Avranches. So what we're going to do here is actually we're going to start swaying him. And just become buddy-buddy with our spy master. Our court physician, Mathieu, is widely known in scholarly circles, is excellent. So Mathieu, he is an herbalist. Yes. Thibault is quite experienced. Philippe seems enthusiastic. Philippe is a poet, blade master. No. Mathieu. I think Mathieu would be the right choice. So he will be our new court physician. Mathieu the Headless is excellent at it. Now our money's gone down, and I'm not really interested in a grand tournament as such. Let's see here. Where are we with truces? For Aquitaine, we have still the truce. But we do not have a truce with Brittany. The faithful prepare for war. A papal envoy has reached my court, bringing news from the Vatican. Pope Innocentius issued a call to arms to all righteous Christian rulers. As a Catholic king, I am expected to prepare my men in support of this most holy cause sponsored by the Universal Church itself. To all those who will take the fight against the vile infidels desecrating the holy grounds of Tahert, the Holy See promises full absolution from all sins. So, Tahert. Oh, there it is. So, North Africa. Ooh, that could be an interesting one. My warriors will be ready to fight. No doubt. No beneficiary. Can we appoint a good beneficiary here? Oh, we've got a few to pick from here. We can go with Fulk Plantagenet. Fulk. Another Plantagenet of our house. From Brittany. Our nephew, Jan Plantagenet. That would be an interesting one. Or Twadomir or Sergei. These are all Polish. No, we want an Angevin. We want an Angevin. Without a doubt. We want an Angevin there. Defenders here. Currently their military strength is huge. The Magravits. So, yeah. House Magravit. And Emir of the Magravit Emirate. So that is that one here. What he has, though, are a lot of allies all around him. So that's the key one there. But a North African crusade would be an interesting endeavor. And if we can put an Angevin Plantagenet in North Africa, that would just be... That would be an interesting story to follow, without a doubt. But the next steps here, I believe, will be... I've got Emperor Julien being targeted in a faction. And that's something we're going to look at. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts about independence from the Emperor. I maintain, or King Henri maintains, that, you know, he's also a little bit lazy, so it's not exactly... He's not that ambitious to go that route. He would like to consolidate his lands a little bit more here, so probably going to do a small war against Brittany for La Marche and Bellac. I think currently we have a claim on Bellac. So we have a truce, I understand that. Our claims, yeah, Bellac and La Marche. But we currently still have a truce. Here's, we'll go down here. That truce is 13 months still. So that's definitely a small war with Brittany. And probably for La Marche. Just have that little Brittonic island here in the middle. And then we'll kind of go from there. We have a hunt invitation. Not going to worry about that right now. But I'd be curious about your thoughts, along with the potential just getting an alliance with the Galicians for the sake of having an alliance with the Galicians. But, you know, and that way we're secure here in Iberia. We never have to worry about it. The alliance with Castile already grants us that. Navarra could be one that we go after. and just taking that would be an interesting one. To add that to our lands. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, likes are much appreciated. Until next time, I'm Rembuilder Guy, and I will talk to you soon.